Hello, welcome to Yoga Flow. In today's class, we're really going to get into the hips and build up to splits today. So if you just heard the word splits and started freaking out because you can't do one, no worries. Usually I cannot do a full split either, but there will be options for everyone. So I promise. We're also going to get into the shoulders a little bit as well. And we are going to start our practice on our backs with a strap. So you'll want to have that handy. And then the blocks can be very helpful for different lunges that we're going to do, triangle, pyramid, and they can help put on the brakes for splits if you're trying to do the full. So I highly recommend these. Folded blanket for knee cushion if you want that. And we will get started. So I'm going to go ahead and come onto our back. I'm just going to move this blanket out of the way here. Now, one thing that I will tell you as well is once we open up, we're also going to get into the shoulders. We're going to do pinwheel. So you want to make sure in this arc here where your head's going that as you move your arms around, you're not going to knock, water or anything like that over. So coming onto the back. And once you get down there, take your feet as wide as the mat. Now, if you're not practicing on the mat, just come a little bit wider than hip width or body width apart. Your arms can be anywhere that you want them to be. And we're just going to get a nice little windshield wiper here. Knees in one direction and then the other. Good. And my belly button is in here as well because I want to protect the low back. And we'll come back in. Bring those feet back in, one knee at a time. Take that into the chest. Good. And you can hold the thighs or the shins. That part doesn't matter. Just bring them into the chest. And for a moment, find a little bit of length from crown to tail. Relaxing the shoulders. Good. And carefully release feet back onto the floor. Let's take our arms up towards the ceiling. Good. Right now, I've got my palms facing each other. While we're here, let's just do some protraction, retraction. So I'm going to protract. Think about protruding out of the shoulder socket. And I'm going to retract. Think about taking it back into their pocket. So just kind of think about the words. So protract, retract, protract, retract, protract, retract. Good. From here, turn the palms away. Inhale, exhale, press that air down as you come down. You'll move a little bit out of the way from my wall. Good. Turn the palms towards the ceiling. Inhale, take that back up. Turning away, exhale, pressing down. My belly button is in. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. I'm going to touch my hands together here. And exhale, taking hands to my heart space. Setting an intention for your practice. What would you like to give or receive today? Maybe you'd like to dedicate this practice to someone or something. Yourself is okay. And so on this January 11th, 2023, all flights are grounded due to an FAA mishap. So maybe be grateful that you're not on a plane or trying to wait for a plane to go somewhere. Okay? Nobody wants to wait for hours in an airport. Inhale, take that up, turning palms away, pressing that air down. Good. So from here, grab your strap. And we're just going to go right into a little hip opener here. I'm going to take my right foot into the strap. Good. I'm going to keep this left knee bent. And we're going to do a dynamic movement here. So you don't want a really tight grip. So maybe come a little bit lower here. And when you're ready, good. I'm going to inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, gentle tug. Inhale. Exhale, gentle tug. Inhale. Exhale. Now you can choke up on your strap, giving a deeper stretch here, keeping a little bend in that knee. Relaxing through the shoulders and the upper body if you can. So when we do these stretches and these hip openers and even into the shoulders, remember, pain, numbness, tingling, burning, never a normal sensation. So if you feel those, you want to back off until you don't. Good. So we'll release. Both straps are going to come into the right hand here. We're going to take this into some circles, get some nice lubrication in the hips going. Belly button is in, both hips stay in. Larger circles are more challenging than smaller ones. So choose where you need to work here. Breathing. Let's reverse directions. Good. And then from here, we'll come up, choke up on your straps. Good. Both hips stay grounded. Take that right leg out to the right. You might have to wiggle around to find your sweet spot. Breathe and expand. And we'll bring that back in. I'm going to keep a little bit of a bend in this left knee. And I'm going to take my straps into the left hand. We're not going to go into the full twist here. We're just going to do that arc over. So if you're someone where that direct straight across is not your sweet spot, you don't get a maximum stretch there, wiggle around until you find it. Again, you can keep this knee a little soft here. Good. And when you're ready, we'll come back in. We'll do a midair switcheroo. So I'm going to switch out my left and right foot. Good. So again, we'll do that dynamic stretch. So grip is lower on your straps. And we're going to inhale, exhale, little tug. Inhale, exhale, little tug. Inhale, tug that in, reach. Good. Deeper stretch, little micro bend in the knee. Breathe. And we'll gently release. Good. Both straps into the left hand. Both hips are going to stay grounded. We're going to do those circles. So remember, large circles are a little bit more challenging than small ones. How do you know what you need to do? Well, if your hips are rocking around, you need small circles. Control that. Both hips stay grounded. Good. And we'll release. Or not release, but reverse. That's the better word to say. Good. And then when you're ready, I'm going to keep a little bit of a bend in that left right knee. I'm going to take my right hand into the straps. I'm going to choke up a little bit. And I'm going to arc over, wiggle around, find your sweet spot. So you want to feel this right on the outside here. And always remember, if you don't have an official yoga strap, a belt like you wear around your waist will work just as fine. Stretchy bands work just as fine. I got into a bind once in a class. I gave my strap away and used my cell phone charging cord. So we do what we need to do. And we'll come back up. Good. Remove that foot from the strap. I'm going to place the strap. Let me put it over here. Out of the way. We'll come back to that towards the end of class. But from here, one more time, get a nice little windshield wiper. And we're going to warm up the core. So one leg at a time, take that into tabletop. So knees going to be over the hip, shins parallel to the floor. Belly button is in nice and tight. This is going into dynamic twisting. Arms can be to the side. Try to keep the shoulders grounded. Good. I'm going to take my knees over to the left into a hover. I'm going to look at my knees. I want my knees to be even. So I want, as much as I can, this top knee not to slide back here. So if that's happening, take that opposite hip a little bit more forward, and that should even you up. Good. Also, we don't want the low back to get involved. So if it is, you're going too deep into your hover. Take that to the right. and center, left and center, right and center, left and center. We're going to change that up now. So as you come over to the right, you can stay here or you can reach those legs long. Bend the knees, come back center, to the left, reach. Bend the knees, back center one more time through, to the right, stay here or reach. Bend the knees, come back through center, to the left, stay here or reach. Bend and come back in. Give yourself a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. We're going to take this all the way over now. Knees back in tabletop. And we'll take those knees all the way over to the right. Left shoulder grounded. Look to the left, full spinal twist. Breathe and expand that rib cage. Reconnect with that intention. Good. Head back to center, one leg at a time, or use your abs to bring both knees back in. We'll take the knees over towards the left, all the way to the left, right shoulder grounded, look to the right. Now, when you come over, all the way over, your front knee might come back a little bit. That's okay. Coming all the way over is a little bit more challenging in some ways than the hover. For some people, it's easier. Head back to center, one leg at a time, or use your abs to bring you back in. Good, and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. We're gonna do a few rolling like a balls here, and then we're gonna come into pinwheel. So you can hold the shins or behind the legs, that doesn't matter. But if you're doing this one, we don't wanna swing the legs around. So this is all core and breath here. Big inhale, exhale, find that C curve and rock. And just keep rocking. Don't rock back on the neck. Maybe find a little balance challenge when you come up. And then when you're ready, good, we'll come back down. All right. We are going to roll over onto the left side. And I'm coming to the left side because that's the side that's going to face the screen first. So I'm just going to kind of roll over there. Good. My knees are bent, shoulders and hips are in alignment. My left arm is straight out in front. My right arm is going to come right on top. And again, I want my fingertips to be even here. So belly button is in. I'm going to drag that top hand, that right hand, trying to keep it on the floor. It's that circle around. Now I'm opening back up into that stretching twist. Belly button is in. And then I'll take that back up and around, back on top of the left hand. We'll do that again, taking it back. Yeah, feel that stretch in the shoulder and the chest. Take that back up and around. Good, and we'll pause here. Now we're gonna open and close. So from here, belly button is in again. We're gonna open all the way to the right and close to the left. Open to the right and close. This time we're going to hold it open, getting a little stretch. So taking it open, belly button is in. Remember, never any funny business in the back. So if you ever feel that, you've gone too far. And we'll take that back center. Good. From here, come onto the belly. Good. So I'm going to take my hands a little forward into the side of the shoulders. Good. I'm just going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle the hips here for a moment, just because it feels good. Legs are going to be hip width apart. We're going to go into a cobra series. So rolling shoulders back, belly button is in. Good. We're going to lift, baby cobra. No crunching in the spine, shoulders in their pockets. And we'll take that down. Inhale, exhale, baby cobra or medium cobra. And lower. Inhale, exhale, baby cobra, medium cobra, or high cobra. And lower. One more time. Inhale, exhale, baby, medium, or high cobra. And we'll lower that down. We're going to go into a forearm plank while we're down here. So hands, arms are going to come forward. Shoulders are going to be over behind the elbows. I like to take my hands kind of straight down here. Some people like to clasp. Whatever works for you is fine. And then you can also be on the knees or be lifted here. So whatever way works for you is fine. I'm going to tuck my toes because I'm going to have my knees lifted. Big inhale, belly button in. Exhale, find that forearm plank. I'm going to take my chest just a little bit more forward, and I'm really pressing. Shoulders and knees in that long line, or shoulders and ankles. I'm holding the plank, but I'm not holding the breath. And then we'll lower that back down. And we'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. All right, we're going to take that pinwheel series to the other side. So pardon the view here, but I'm going to turn over onto my right side. Good. My left arm is going to come straight out forward, and my right arm is going to come right on top. That is wrong. I'm on my right side. My right arm is straight out forward. My left arm is on top. Pardon that. I blame COVID brain fog for all of those little cue mishaps. Okay, so from here, when you're ready, shoulders and hips are in alignment, knees can be bent. My fingertips are even. I'm going to drag that top hand up and around. I want to try not to lose contact with the floor. My belly button is in because I'm going to rotation. And I'm going to take that back up and circle back around. And we'll go for number 2. And coming back around. Good. This time we're going to open and close. So belly button is in again. We're going to open to the left and close back to the right. And open to the left and close right. And we'll open here. We're going to hold this one open. Belly button is in. Ideally, you want the shoulders down here. I'm not as good on this side as I am on the other side. I have some limitations in my left shoulder, but we do what we can do. Practice makes progress. And when you're ready, we'll take that back forward. Great work. From here, come back onto the belly. Find a child's pose. I'm going to bring my knee cushion in here. Good. Knees together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. Arms can be long in front of you or hands back by the ankles. Do what feels good to your shoulders. Breathe and expand. Zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel. Find that breath. Find that intention. Good. Now we'll get a little bit more engagement here. So if your arms are long in front of you, grab the sides of your mat. Now push forward and pull out a little bit to the side of the mat. Good. And when you're ready, we'll be at ease. Hands under the shoulders. We'll come back up here to all fours. We're going to make our way into a downward facing dog. So most people, your hands are going to come forward about a half width or full width forward. If you're shorter, like me, you're probably fine where you are. Well, whenever you're ready, we're going to tuck the toes, lift and shift. Press in and forward into your mat, spreading fingers nice and wide, rooting through knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. Good. Leave a little bend in the knees if you're tight in the back side of the body. Hands are in line with shoulders, elbows turning in slightly, shoulders in their pockets. Feet and legs in line with the hips. You can stay here. You can walk your dog one leg at a time. You can come high on the toes and drop the heels. Choose what works for your body. Your head and neck should be free. Good. Find some stillness if you took movements. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. So if you can't touch the floor, remember you can always come to a block or two. You can come to the shins or the thighs. We want a flat spine here. And exhale and we'll fold. I'm just going to bring both blocks in here. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes. Long spine as you rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, intention. Let's move. Inhale and reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, plant the hands. Step back into your plank. And you choose take or skip a flow. So knees can come down here, and I'm going to actually demo this one. So if you've got shoulder or wrist issues, this is how I recommend you practice until you're stronger. Good. And then those of you that don't have those issues that like that full flow, I recommend only coming down halfway, not all the way to the floor. It's easier on everybody's rotator cuffs, less risk for injury. From down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale and lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Plant the hands, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. Breathe. From down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more of these. Inhale and lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. Exhaling back to down dog. Good, let's take 3 big breaths here. Big inhale. Inhale. Good, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, intention. All right, let's take our hands, let's clasp them together. Good, I'm gonna press them forward. So I'm kind of pressing the hands out just like this. And then I'm gonna round. Let's get that nice little stretchy here. Good, when you're ready, take that up overhead, reach overhead, big inhale, exhale, take a side bend to the right. Inhale, exhale, center, inhale, exhale, take it to the left. Inhale, exhale, and reach. Good, we're getting ready to flow down here. I'm gonna make sure that my blanket is handy for some knee cushion. So if you need that, bring that in. And when you're ready, I'm gonna have blocks available here for me too. Okay. So when you're ready, big inhale and reach. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. I'm gonna skip this flow. So if you're skipping flows, remember you can always work on a plank, down dog, child's pose. From down dog, left leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee, opening to the left, strong, even upper body. Now, as long as it's not aggravating the back, press into that left foot. So you're coming a little bit more to the right, a little bit more of a stretch in the hip. Inhale, exhale, even up that pelvis. Keep that knee bent around. Step or pick up and put the left foot forward between the hands. I'm gonna bring my blocks back in here. My feet are parallel railroad tracks, so I'm not warrior prepping that back foot. I'm pressing back through that heel. My front knee is bent over behind the ankle, and I've got my heel down. I'm gonna take my spine, not the spine, the sternum a little bit more forward. Strong back leg, long spine, strong abs, strong front leg. Good. And when you're ready, good. We're going to lower down the right knee here. Good. And then from here, we're going to come into a dynamic movement. So with or without your blocks, you can come forward and come back. And forward and back. And forward. Good. Blocks can help with stability or to put on your brakes here. My front hip's going to come back. Back hip's going to come forward. Zipping up the front body. You can stay here or you can take it up. A little bit of a balance challenge. You can choose to open up here or taking hands behind you, finding a bind or a shoulder opener. Do what feels good to your body in this moment, which might not be what I'm doing. Good. Inhale. Exhale, release and reach. Take those hands back to the floor. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Good. Find your breath. From here, right leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee, opening to the right. Strong, even upper body. You want to open a little bit more. Press through that right heel. As long as it doesn't aggravate the back. And then taking the hips back even, bending that knee, round, step or pick up and put the right foot forward between the hands. I'm going to bring blocks in. Good. I'm pressing back through that left heel. I'm taking my sternum a little bit more forward. Good. Nice long lines here. Strong. Balanced. And when you're ready, good. Back knee's going to come down. Good. So you can use your blocks here again if you want a little bit more of a challenge. Good. You can take this up and come back in and out and back in and out and back in. Good. Balance challenge if you're up, or you can keep the hands down if you need that. Let's take the right hip back just a smidge. And again, you can choose to be here. You can open up or take another shoulder opener here. Find what you need. Smile. Release. Reach. Take that back down. Tuck the back toe. Lift the back knee. Front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. From down dog when you're ready. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, intention. All right. We're going to go into a little bit of a warrior series here. This will include triangle and pyramid variation, as well as going into a dragon, and also known as lizard or gecko in other traditions. So have blocks, have your props available as you need them. From here, I'm going to take my right foot back. Good. My left foot's forward, and I'm finding my warrior 2 stance. So remember, this back leg and foot are angled in 45 degrees. It's not parallel to the edge of the mat. Hip, knee, and toe track forward here. Front hip will come back just a little bit. Front knee can be over or behind the ankle. Strong into the heels, strong into the balls of the feet, big toe, pinky toe mounds. Strong into the edges of the feet. Good. Now keeping the front knee bent for more challenge or lengthening it if you need to. We'll take it back exalted. If you want to arm bind or wrap here, find something that works for you. Inhale, exhale, warrior two. Lengthening that front leg, going into triangle. Front hip comes back hip comes forward. Zip up that front body, really press those feet into the mat. Remember, this is not a forward fold, so we're finding length here. It's a hip hinge, it's a long spine. You can come to a thigh, a shin, a block, the floor. Block on the outside is easier than block on the inside. Find what you need and we'll open. Think about a stacking of the shoulders here. Belly button is in. Good. Inhale, looking down at that front foot. I'm going to put a bend in that knee for transition. Good. I'm going to bring in my other block here. Good. Swiveling up the back leg, we're going to go into that pyramid variation. So I'm going to lengthen here. My torso is long, so I'm taking my sternum more forward. I'm pressing back through that back heel. Good. Now, if you only have one block, I'm going to cue you to put that block on the inside. And those of you that know it's safe and you want to go deeper, take your blocks more forward so you keep a long spine here. And how far forward you go is going to depend on that front hamstring. It's going to depend on you. Left hip comes back just a little bit. Good. Inhale, look forward. Put a bend in that knee. Good. We're going to lower down the right knee now, preparing for the dragon now. Good. So I've got a knee cushion here. There are different ways you can do this today. You can just come here, having a block or two for support. You can have 2 blocks on the inside. Remember, your blocks have 3 different heights. Okay. You can take your hands down here. Good. You can take the leg a little bit wider. You can turn hip, knee, and toe out away from the body. You can come onto forearms onto the blocks or onto the floor. Choose where you need to go there, and you can roll onto the edge of that left foot if you want that as well. But my spine is long, so I'm taking my sternum a little bit more forward here. I'm pressing that floor away with my shoulders, forearms, hands, wherever you're going. Breathe. When you're ready, if you went onto the edge of that left foot, take that left foot down. If you went onto forearms, we'll bring those hands and arms back up. Bring your leg back into place if you took it out wider. And then from here, we're going to take this back into a half split pose. So hip's going to stay over the knee. This leg's going to come long. Good. And I've got a long torso. It's okay to fold in here if you want with a long spine. So for those of you that are not going to attempt a full split today, this is going to be your modification when we get there. So like I said, there's always an option for somebody. And when you're ready, good, we'll come back up. Take the blocks forward, plant the hands, tuck the back toe, lift that back knee, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. I'm going to skip this one. Good. From your down dog, when you're ready, left leg lifts 3-point, bending the knee, round, step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Hands on the inside of that foot. We're going to walk that around. Wide legs forward, fold. So make sure your big toes are in alignment and your feet are parallel to the short edges of the mat. Pressing through the outer edges of the feet so we're not collapsing into the arches. Good. Now I've got my shoulders over my hands here. I've got a long spine. Different options for different people. Some of you, this is going to be it. You can also have blocks under your hands. Some of you are going to take elbows straight back. You might take hands forward, leaning back. You might take your hands through. You might take yogi toe. Find one that works for your body in this moment. Now, wherever you went here, shake that head yes. Shake that head no. Good. And then when you're ready, hands are going to come back underneath the shoulders. My left hand is going to come under my face. I'm going to shift my hips to the right. I'm going to press into that floor, open to the right. You can leave that arm up there or wrap it around, rolling the shoulders back. You choose. And when you're ready, release. Coming back center, hips back center. Right hand under the face, shifting the hips to the left. Open to the left. Opening up. Arm can stay up or you can wrap it around. Rolling that shoulder back, you choose. And release, coming back to center. Good, hips back to center. With a little micro bend in the knees, hands can come to the waist or to the thighs. Could you press through the feet and legs, keeping a long spine as you come back up to center? Good. So one more here. I'm going to turn around just so that you can see what I'm doing with my hand. Different things with different people. So for some of you, you might be here, rolling shoulders and elbows back. Some of you might be here. You might be here. I don't do this one very well. Ideally, the palms of the hands are kind of touching. Some of you might grab hands, wrists, elbows, or forearms. Some of you are going to clasp and press down, roll back and lift. Okay, so find what works for your shoulders and your wrist right here. And we're going to take another fold. So big inhale, exhale, take that fold. Shoulders are back in their pockets, not by the ears. Find your breath. Good, and then from here, when you're ready, pressing through the feet, we'll come back up. Good, release the hands. You can heel toe together or hop together. Come back to the top of the mat. Sun salute A, big inhale and reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. And from down dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root, engage and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, intention. So as we go to the other side, just so that my back side is not to you, I'm just going to switch sides on my mat. Good. Have your blocks handy, triangle, pyramid, blanket if you need knee cushion. And then from here, we're going to step the left foot back. Good. So find your warrior two stance here. Remember, the back leg and foot are at an angle, so they're not parallel to the back. Good. My front knee is over behind my ankle, and hip, knee, and toe are tracking forward. My front hip can come back just a little bit here, and then I'm going to reach and relax the shoulders, and my belly button is in. One of my favorite poses, warrior two. Requires more strength than it looks. From here, you choose with the bent front knee, which is going to be more challenging, or lengthening that leg. We're going to take it back into exalted. If you did an arm bind or an arm wrap at this point on the other side, find something similar here. Good. Inhale, exhale, warrior two. We'll lengthen that front leg, preparing for triangle. So your right hip's going to come back, left hip's going to come forward. I'm rooting my feet into the mat like I'm trying to rip it apart. I'm going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen so my torso stays long. You can come to a thigh, a shin, a block, or the floor. I'm going to come to the floor on the side, and we'll open up, thinking about stacking the shoulders. So really get into the legs when you practice triangle. So we do take a hand down, but that's just there to complete the pose. You shouldn't, rely on that arm to support you. So if you're really in your legs and your abs, you can do what I'm doing, swinging here. That's a nice test. Looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee. Good. We're going to take the hands down, framing that front foot, swiveling up the back foot. Good. Now, here's your pyramid variation. So I'm going to bring my blocks in here. I'm going to lengthen that front leg. Right hip is back, left hip is forward. My feet and legs are in parallel railroad tracks. My back heel is not grounded. I'm pressing straight back from it. Taking my sternum forward a little bit here for a long spine. Again, you can stay here. Those of you that have it and want to go deeper, just take your blocks more forward. Keeping that long spine. Breathing. Maybe a little micro bend in that front knee so it's not locked. And then from here, putting the bend in that front knee. Good. The left knee is going to come down here. So we're going to go into that dragon. And remember, you can be high dragon. You can be inside of foot dragon, hands on blocks or the floor. You can take this leg out wider. You can turn hip, knee, and toe out away from the body. You can take it down, forearms onto blocks or to the floor. A little bit more there. Here we go. I'm going to take my sternum a little bit more forward, just lengthening the spine a little bit here, pressing my arms and shoulders into the mat. You can also roll onto the edge of that right foot, if that feels good to you. Belly button is in here. So front supports the back supports the front. They work together. And when you're ready, good. If you went onto the edge of the foot, good. That foot's going to come down. If you went on forearms, we'll come back up. Good. This leg's going to rock back in here. And then you can bring your blocks in here if you need them to go into that half split pose. So knee's going to be under the hip. This leg is going to be long. And then I'm just going to lengthen the spine here. Now, you can also, not go as deep. You can also come up a little higher here. Honor your body where it is. That is the sign of an advanced yogi, honoring your body where it is, not deep, advanced asana. And then from here, when you're ready, we're going to come forward. I'm going to take my blocks forward, plant the hands, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. And then when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend those knees, walk, step or hop your feet forward to meet your hand. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, low bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, intention. Okay. For a balance challenge, we're going to take this into dancer because this is, hip flexor stuff. And if you need to come to a sturdy piece of furniture, a wall, you remember you can always do that. But I'm going to start with my left leg being my supported leg. So I want that hip, knee, and toe to come forward. Left arm is up. I'm going to roll my right arm back, and I'm going to bend that right knee. For some of you, this is going to be it. And if this is it for you, squeeze this glute, take this knee back, and you'll get that little stretch through here. Some of us are going to bind at the foot, ankle, or your pants. Good. Knee's going to come into the midline. Squeezing the right glute, take the right knee back, rolling the right shoulder back. For some of you, this is going to be it. Others, maybe you come forward a little bit. Now notice my left leg here, hip, knee, and toe are tracking forward. I'm not turning it inward. So if you're not stable taking this little fold, then you need to be back up here until you're more stable. And when you're ready, we'll come out of there wherever you went, shake out that left leg. We'll take that to the other side. So right leg's going to be supporting leg, hip, knee, and toe track forward. Right arm is up, rolling left shoulder back, bending left knee again. This might be it for some. That's you. Squeeze that glute, take that leg back. Others are going to bind. Maybe. There we go. Knee into the midline. Zip up that front body. Squeezing left glute. Left knee comes back. Be stable here. And then if you're stable, you can come forward. Again, hip, knee, and toe of that right leg are pointing forward, not internal or external rotating. And then when you're ready, carefully come up out of there and release with control. Good. We're going to flow down and come into our split. So from here, when you're ready, big inhale and reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good, I'm going to bring my blanket back in here. Good. I'm going to lift my left leg back, bending the knee, round, step or pick up and put that foot forward. I'm going to lower my right knee. Now, this is one way you can come into it. Blocks are great. And I'm just going to let this leg come forward here. Good. So as you can see, I'm not completely on the ground. I'm not going to force my body to go there. That would create a horrible, horrible injury. So if you're much higher than me, remember your blocks are great breaks. So are pillows, folded blankets that you can put under here to support you. Good. Now that I have that support, I can release and take my arms forward. Okay. And when you're ready, good, we'll come out of there. Good. Now, coming out is not as easy as getting in. So I cue people to come out in the way that feels best, works best for your body. So the way that I just came out might not work for you. Okay. So always listen to your body. Your body is your best teacher. And then from here, good, I'm going to plant, take this back, down dog. If you want to move through a little vinyasa here, feel free. And it just occurred to me that I forgot to remind you of the half split pose. That's okay, I'll do that over here. So from here, right leg's gonna lift forward. Bring this blanket down. Good. Bend that knee round, step or pick up and put the right foot forward between the hands. Good. Now remember your half split pose, people. You're just gonna take that leg forward and you're gonna stay up here. So this is what it looks like. So if that's you, no worries. Others are gonna take that more forward. And again, I'm not completely on the ground here. I've got space. So I'm going to stick my block under there. You can also use a folded blanket, pillow, bolster, whatever it is that you have. And now that I'm stable and supported, I can release. If you are not stable and supported, or you need both hands down on the floor to blocks, your hands will not come up in the air. You can also lift the hands in a half split pose if you're stable there. And when you're ready, we'll take that back down. Good, I'm gonna lift and carefully come out of there. Once you have come out of there, we're gonna find a child's pose. So knees can be together, as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. Arms can be long in front of you. And breathe and expand. Return to that intention. Maybe your original intention has changed. Always okay. And when you're ready, good. Taking hands under the shoulders, and we'll come back up. we're going to come back to where we started. So we're going to come back onto our backs. I'm just going to move my blanket out of the way here. Have your strap back handy. And if you know that you have a supported back bend in your future, have a block handy for that. And which is the one that I'm going to choose today. So I'm going to have that handy here. Good. So to come back onto your back, before we move, take those feet as wide as your mat. Good. And again, get a nice little windshield wiper here. My belly button is still in. Good. Let's come into a supine Baddha Konasana here. So I'm going to take the soles of my feet together. Good. My knees are out to the side. My heels are coming into the groin. And I'm lengthening from crown to tail. I'm relaxing my shoulders. And when you're ready, we'll bring that in. Good. From here, we're going to come into that bridge. So hips, knees, and toes are going to track in this alignment. Now I'm going to cue a freestyle bridge, meaning any bridge of your choice that's in your practice. But what I want you to focus on, whatever it is you're choosing, hip, knees, and toes track here. So we don't take the legs out wider. We don't turn hips, knees, and toes out to make things happen. So be mindful of that. And unless you're binding, well, I shouldn't say that. Even if you're binding at the ankle or binding the hands underneath or doing a basic bridge, you want your arms and shoulders pressing into the floor. The exception of that is if you're coming into the full back bend, then again, you're going to press into the hands and lift. So find yours. I'm going to take my block right under the tailbone here. And I recommend setting 1 or setting 2 so that both hip bones and the tailbone have support. If you're on the highest setting, only the tailbone has support, and then your hip bones and your back won't really like that later. Although you see people practice that way all the time. So if you want to go higher than what one block will give you, stack another block under there, 2 or 3 blocks under there. Good breathing. Nice little inversion. And then from here, based on where you went, based on your bridge, in the way that's best for your body, because that's going to determine what bridge you chose, is going to determine how you come out, then we will carefully come out of that bridge. Good. And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Grab that strap. Good. Let's take both feet into the strap. So we're going to do a supine version of a seated forward fold, and we're going to use the strap to help us. So you want to choke up a little bit here. Knees are going to have a micro bend. Your bottom, your tailbone is not going to lift off your mat. And then we're going to pull in towards the face, flexion in the feet. Find yours. Looking at your feet, do they have a tendency here to curl inwards? And if they are, could you press through the big toe mounds? So it could be a little bit more flat. Remove the right foot from the strap. Left foot's going to stay in there. Good. So from here, I've got both straps into the right hand now. Good. I'm going to lengthen my right leg, and I'm going to take this leg over. So again, you can find your little 45-degree arc, or you can take that leg all the way over. My wall's in the way. You can take that leg all the way over, full spinal twist, shoulder grounded, leg stays in line with the hip. So if you can't do that on your own, prop it up with a block or folded blanket or bolster, whatever it is that you have. And when you're ready, we'll take that back up. Good. Let that leg come all the way out to the side just as a gentle reset. And when you're ready, good, we'll switch feet. It's the midair switcheroo. Good. So now your straps are going to come into the left hand. Left leg's going to come long. Find your arc over. You can stay there or you can take it all the way over, full spinal twist. Keep leg in line with the hip. And we'll come back up. Good, let that leg go all the way out to the side and come back in. Release that strap, knees into the chest one more time. Find that length from crown to tail. And we'll find our Shavasana from here. So you can let everything come long and flop open, or you can put a bend in the knees. You can be on your side or on your belly. Be where you can be comfortably still and then wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. See if you can make yourself about 10% more comfortable. And I'll leave you right here for a few short moments. And from here, when you're ready, carefully start to take some deep breaths. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or invite movement of the fingers and the toes. Choose stillness or taking knees into the chest, choosing to keep the upper body grounded or maybe lifted into a full body hug. And choosing stillness or taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the feet, edge of the toe, or edge of the toes to the tops of the fingers. Point and flex through the feet. Bend and stretch through the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And from here, whenever you're ready, carefully bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over onto your right or left side, the side that works best for you in this moment. Taking all the time that you need here, or when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat, where we normally start our practice. Find a nice tall sit, ears, shoulders, and hips in alignment. Noticing how you feel. Palms up, inhale, reach overhead, touching palms together. Exhale, hands and heart center. Reconnecting with that intention you made for yourself one more time. And when you're ready, we'll take our thumbs to our forehead for good and true thoughts, to our lips for good and kind words, and to our hearts for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted. No gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you have a wonderful day, week, month, season ahead. Namaste.